Mic'd up.
Hello. Welcome to the Yankees Coast to Coast, a rather moribund evening, but we're a little bit down right now.
Welcome to the Yankee Shiva call.
This is our show.
So
Very tough one.
that was a tough one. Was a great game. Painful, but great game. And I'm sure Kirk Gibson is smiling someplace.
Yeah.
Dennis
Yeah, there are a lot of
Eckersley is like,
similarities.
ooh, maybe they'll forget about me.
Yeah. Same
So-
place, same ball, almost the same spot.
Well, it was a monster shot.
It was
So
a bomb.
yeah, so let's talk about the bottom of the 10th, right? So when you get to the bottom of the 10th, I thought Cousins was the right choice to start the inning. What did you think of that?
I did. I just didn't like the walk.
Well, the
You know.
walk is, Cousins walks guys. That's what he does sometimes.
You know.
He got Smith on the fly ball to right. He walked Lux. The Edmonds single. Listen, Torres isn't making that play, so let's not kid ourselves. But it really was a play that should have been made to get at least one out. Not that that would have mattered in the long run if you play the game of a home run doesn't matter. But then the question comes in, and we were just briefly talking about this, is, all right, so they got Ohtani up there with first and second and one out, and they've got to bring in a lefty, right? So the question is, do you bring in Hill or do you bring in Cortez? If you're going to pitch to Mookie, I could see them bringing in Cortez because you don't want Hill pitching to Mookie. But if they already knew in their mind that they were going to walk Mookie, you need to have your best lefty-on-lefty specialist in the game to face Freeman as well as to face Ohtani. So Nestor gets Shohei to pop out to left field, and unbelievable catch by Verdugo. Let's give credit where credit's due. The guy made two fantastic catches in the 9th and the 10th.
Can I ask you though?
Yeah.
I don't think they really had a choice to go with Nestor because you guys told me the 3-batter rule.
Right. No, what I'm saying is why bring in Nestor at all? Why not bring in Hill to face Ohtani, let him walk Betts, and then let him pitch to Freeman? And the game is either over, or you could bring in another pitcher to pitch the 11th inning, right? Because it'll be bases loaded, and if Freeman gets on, the game's over, which obviously is what happened with Nestor in there. But lefty on lefty, clearly, as well as Hill has been pitching, if you knew you were going to walk Mookie, which I would think that they knew they were going to do, if they got Ohtani out, you needed to have your best lefty on lefty pitcher in there. Now, the post-game show, the quickie interview with Boone that I saw, his answer is that Nestor's been pitching really well all week, getting ready to pitch in the World Series. And as Mark Caro found out when he ran into him at the mall in Paramus, Nestor was ready and he was willing to put his career on the line to pitch. So you got to like a guy with those kind of cojones. But if you knew you're going to walk Betts, you need your best lefty on lefty guy, and clearly the best lefty on lefty guy they have is Hill. So,
did you see what he threw?
A meatball down the middle. That's what bothers me.
93 on the inside corner.
Why is he throwing a fastball? Why is he throwing? Another reason to have Hill in there is Freeman's going to hit a fastball.
It was like I said, Steve Carroll could hit that one out. It was literally the easiest thing.
I think Mark Carroll could have hit it out, and Paul Bolin, the ball wouldn't have come down yet if Paul Bolin had hit it.
I'm still in shock. I can't believe it. But okay, well, that was the problem. But I do think the main issue, what bothered me the most, was the walk, and I really started to scream. These walks. They've been killed on these walks all season, all playoff, every game that they've lost, every game that they've played, every game that they've been tied in. It's because they walk somebody. You just can't walk a guy in that situation. You got to keep your batting order.
I don't like walking a guy either. I don't like walking a guy on 4 pitches, especially a guy who really hasn't been hitting in the playoffs. So yes, the walk did kill them, but you know what? There's bigger fish to fry. The game shouldn't have even made it to extra innings. The Yankees gave them 3 extra bases, and on 2 of those extra bases, they gave them the runners scored on sacrifice flies.
Yep.
First,
why is it they can do that?
Right. Well, exactly. First, you have the one that Soto gave them the extra base when he went to play the ball, and he tried to make the catch, and he really shouldn't have tried to make the catch. He should have played it and let it be a double. And then the other one that really bothers me more than anything else, because at least Soto's effort was from aggression and confidence that he was going to make a catch. A couple of things on the ball that Otani hit. Why is Torres not on the bag? If he's on the bag, it's a hop at his waist. He can make the play. The other question I have, and quite frankly, I give the credit to my brother Todd. He asked this question: why is Volpe the cutoff man and Torres covering the base if it's a ball to right field off the top of the wall? That is a really good question that Todd asked. Oh,
Yeah.
Todd just chimed in. He said that that was Richard who asked it. Although Todd wants to know, is Adam in the bathroom? And I said, and Adam is in the bathroom, just so you know, Todd, he is in the bathroom. And I'm in Michelle's office, which is why I have this little Chinese wall so I can change
Everybody's
behind it.
asleep in my house. My daughter got home from Israel and she's sleeping, so I'm trying to keep the house quiet for her because she's pretty tired.
Is she Sal's girlfriend? Is that what Sal was bitching about during the game? Sal was
Yeah.
sleeping. Anyhow, so those runs that scored on sacrifice flies, they shouldn't have been in that position. And again, we talked about this going in to the championship series, and again yesterday in yesterday's show. Yankees don't do the little things well, and the little things are being in the right place, making the right decision, blocking the ball when you need to block the ball. Why is Torres making it a tough play by not being on the bag? There was
What's
no
this?
reason. There
What
was
was
no reason.
this?
Right. Block it like a catcher. Or why be if he's on the bag, it's a ball that bounces and it's an easy one hopper right to him because it was not a bad throw by Soto at all, by any stretch,
It
even
was
after he had time. So, that's the reason the Yankees lost is the little things killed them. And then
it's
a walk, which is a stupid thing, and a stupid pitch. The other thing I wanted to talk about, what did you
again the
think about
complete
taking?
failure to get a 2-out base hit. I
Well,
mean, again,
I was
the
going to go back to
inability
Cole. I was going to go back to Cole before we started to rip onto
to take him
Aaron
out.
Judge. Um, I don't know that I would have taken Cole out there. It didn't, you know, he's your best pitcher, and I like having your best pitcher in the game whenever you can. Which in the Yankees' case in the past was Rivera. Now their best pitcher is clearly Cole, and they took him out at 82, 83 pitches or whatever he was at. And I had a problem with that. What did you think of that particular move?
It didn't feel like a good time. I felt like even John Moron Sterling said that he thought this doesn't feel quite right yet. I'm not feeling his
Yeah, I
feeling that this is the timeout. So I was in the car, so I was wow. I didn't see how his pitches looked,
they looked
but it
fine.
sounded
His velocity was still 96, 98, which was
again.
better than the first inning where, they hit those. I don't know if you saw it. I guess you didn't see the first inning where they hit a couple of balls to the wall. Um,
mm,
but, and again, the Yankees had a chance to put this game away in the first inning and didn't do it.
yeah,
Torres ripped the ball in the first inning. Nice play at third base on the line out. Soto had an unbelievable at bat, even though the strike zone was god awful. The whole game for both teams. That's not a shot that the Yankees got screwed by the umpires because they absolutely did not. And then Judge swung and missed on an 87 mile an hour slider, middle, and struck out. And then Stanton, obviously, he got on an error, but he hit the ball, so damn hard. And I love the fact that Smoltz was making excuses for Edman on that play. Um, and then Jazz made out. So, Jazz made up for it later in the game, obviously, with his 2 hits and his 2 stolen bases.
I loved
But
it.
ultimately,
That's
Judge
what I
kept
was
getting
saying
up with guys on base,
over and over and over
and
again,
he didn't
and
he
then
didn't perform. He got the
and then
hit.
again tonight also, and then in the last at bat, did you see Wells walk strikeout? I
Yeah.
mean,
On strike
I
three
mean,
was a horrible pitch.
what on earth is going on here? Now,
Horrible.
so anyway,
Yeah.
a
So I mean,
bad night.
there's a lot of things that went wrong. Do you have anything that you want to that stands out as far as corrections or things you want to see tomorrow?
Yeah, what I did like, what I liked, really happy to see. I said yesterday, I still think jazz is key. Michael Kay said it today.
Yes.
Must have been listening to us,
I
as
sent him the show. I
he
send him the
always
show.
does. My key is jazz having wreaking havoc on the bases, and he showed tonight that he could. I loved it. I loved that Volpe stole after they scored the run. Volpe stole second base. That's what they needed to do, and then of course an impotent and bad bat by Wells and bad umpiring combined for.
And Volpe had, I mean, not Volpe, Verdugo had a bad at bat right after that
And
too.
Verdugo had a bad at bat too, but the cat again he made it up for it. Again, I just don't see. I don't understand how this team just doesn't seem to know how to hit with two outs. Um, they can't hit with getting. I love that the Dodgers were able to make those get those sac flies. They got those runs in, and one of the big critiques of this team is that they don't rise to the big moment. Except guess who?
Soto and
It's
Stanton.
Stanton. That's it. But the guys who have to get up and get a hit with two outs, a single up the middle is all you need. What do they try to do? They hit it 9 miles. They don't do it. I mean, has anybody hit a home run? When was the last time somebody other than Stanton, Judge, and Soto hit a home run on this team?
Nobody. The Yankees, even though the bottom of the order hit 281 as a team, and Stanton, Judge, and Soto hit 250, they had no pop. I mean, if you look
So
at OPS,
maybe
look at the
the point
slugging of
is
Verdugo and Volpe and
it's horrible.
Wells has nothing, and Jazz has nothing. But if you look at the slugging of everybody, it's nothing. And
So the thing is, if they can't hit home runs and they're over swinging to try to hit them, logic would suggest that they need to come up with a new approach, which is go the other way.
well, I
Take
think
the
I,
ball to
I
right
think
field.
Jazz made the adjustment today,
He did. He did.
and I think Volpe hasn't been trying to hit the home runs ever. But it cracks me up because you know how I feel about Volpe when he swings. His hip is in the third base dugout. It's been that way for most of the season. He got away from it, and even Smoltz said, watching Volpe, that's what he does, and that makes no sense to me. That is so easily correctable, and I don't understand how for 5 months they let Volpe continue to wide open hip on his swing. It makes no sense to me. That's just bad coaching. And the thing to me is the little things again. The extra base, 3 extra bases they allowed them to have, and on 2 of them they followed up with a sacrifice fly because the guy was able to go from second to third base because of a small mistake by the Yankees. And you can't have that when you're playing for the World Series against a very good team, especially when you're not scoring runs. If you're scoring runs, you can cover up the mistakes. And like I said in yesterday, they got what they needed out of Cole. Could they have left him in and get him go even more? Yeah, they could have, but they got a great start out of the guy. The problem is the key to the series to me, and I really thought he was going to hit in the series, so he still got a chance to do it. If Judge doesn't hit, their lineup is 3 or 4 players. But if he doesn't hit, you have those 4 guys at the top of the batting order, and you can't get out of the first inning without allowing a run or two, changes the whole tone, especially when you're on the road in game one. Now the Yankees have all sorts of problems. They need a game out of Rodon like they got out of Cole. Granted, Rodon struck out 22 guys in 15 innings and allowed 1 walk so far in the playoffs, which I was surprised because, he falls behind hitters so often and his pitch count is so high. And he's only walked 1 guy in the playoffs. But now tomorrow, there's so much pressure on him to do what Cole did.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad Weaver was able to pitch well. That was a good thing.
Looked well.
Yeah.
But
I didn't like the Holmes move at all.
It was
I mean, if I was going
terrible.
to
Again,
take out Cole, it wouldn't have been for Holmes.
that was idiotic. Again, and the minute I know that I started yelling, "Get him out!" Because I forgot. For who's writing to us, Todd.
Yeah.
Let's play what Todd had to say.
Yeah, let's see what Todd had to say because it's about the Cole situation, which is what we're talking about.
Boone said Cole looked taxed when he took them out. Personally, I didn't think he looked taxed. If they were able to get that inning with him, they could have pushed everybody in the back, and they would not have had Nestor Cortez in that situation.
Is this Bob Shepard? What's going on?
Good
Todd,
evening.
Leave the message again because you sounded like now batting. Todd. Miller.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man.
That was pretty funny.
That wasn't good, but I think I get his point here.
I get his point. He said that Cole looked taxed. He looked taxed at 83 pitches? You can't pay a guy $35 million a year and think he looked taxed. I think Cole should just walk up to Boone and say, "How dare you throw me under the bus like that? You're out of your freaking mind."
Yeah, that was
Aaron Rodgers like of Boone to say that. That's just terrible.
Well, Boone's got to cover it, but Boone has, been getting praise for the genius of the first two rounds, and then he made a couple of really bad moods tonight. Yeah,
me included.
And he made a bunch of bad moods tonight that I thought.
Listen,
Holmes looked terrible.
I said to you they took out Cole because they wanted to show that they're the smartest people in baseball, and they're making those decisions based on, well, we'll make this decision because we're smarter than everybody else.
Yeah.
Instead of watching the game, you took your best pitcher out, and now Boone's saying that he looked taxed. What do you mean he looked taxed? Just at the beginning of the inning, I think that was the inning that Smoltz said it doesn't even look like he's sweating out there.
Yeah, I think that it's a terrible, terrible decision, and I have to tell you that the Yankees showed their hind end tonight. That this is a weakness. You've seen the bullpen just okay, and then you see the other team, their bullpen. Not that the Yankees beat their bullpen in the 10th inning. That was nice, but it wasn't a lot. They didn't do much. What did they get? They had a single and
two stolen bases and an
infield
single and a force out.
They
manufactured a run, which is something we got on their case about all season.
Yeah, because
I would have had Volpe bunt with the two strikes when Chisholm was on third base.
They were talking about that, right?
Yeah, I would have had him bunt because I wanted to stay out of the double play and it wouldn't have hurt. And against a guy like Trinan, Volpe looks horrible. Yeah. So I agree.
All right, so I'm gonna go cry now.
You go cry.
You can finish your
we'll
rant.
Post this on our YouTube page, and then we'll be back again here tomorrow after game 2.
Hopefully with happiest smile.
So Todd's got one more comment. Oh yeah, this was the other thing. I forgot about this.
If Rizzo actually ran to second base and then maybe slid in, he may not have been out because the shortstop bobbled the ball. And then they would have had more opportunities to score again.
Yeah, what was he thinking there?
Yeah, I don't know why he stopped. It wasn't like it was a tag play and he had to go backwards so that they would not be able to throw the ball first base. That's a question for Rizzo. And Rizzo, could he have still been out? Maybe, but Todd's right. He should have been going all out to second base. Yeah. And it wouldn't have been one of those second bases where they run out to left field. It would have been one of those things, slide into second base type situation.
Thank you.
That's Todd. A good point. That's a good job, Todd.
Todd, I do feel like I owe you an apology after calling you a putz yesterday. You are most certainly not a putz. Your brother, he's a putz.
Yeah, why are you calling Richard a putz now? First you call Todd a putz, now you call Richard a putz? You're unbelievable.
He's speaking of that. He missed the show last night. He texted me to apologize today that he missed the show.
He didn't apologize to me.
Well, because he likes me. I'm gonna go to sleep now.
All right. I will see you. This was a good quickie 15-minute show. This is
high side.
Yes, a high side. All right.
Have a good one.
Have a good one. See you tomorrow, big guy.
Yeah.